Welcome back to Midwest Linux Gaming. I'm your host, as always, Stompin' Llama, and I apologize for being late. The dungeon apparently was full of some newer players than what I was expecting, and so it took a little bit longer to get through than expected. That, and it's one of the later dungeons in Dawn Trail, so they tend to be a little bit longer, but I wasn't expecting it to be that long. But I also wasn't on my fully maxed out character, so you know how it is. Anyway, enough of that and my normal ramblings as well. Let's get right to it. We've got an interesting set of games to do and to try, and I'm not sure how Elite Dangerous is gonna work, but there's always interesting ways to do that. Plus the 2-Star Ocean games, honestly, I don't expect an awful lot of progress to be made in those. Those are RPGs. Some of the longer running series. It's one of the longer running series, to be honest. Anyway, let's get started with Daikatana, or as it's labeled technically, John Romero's Daikatana. And if you know Daikatana, you know Daikatana. It is of its time. And even then, it was weird for its own time. Oh. What was all? Wow. That was relatively fast. Always run. Unlimited saves. That's an extremely useful move. I'm glad that one has it. Turn on shiny weapons, I suppose. I'm assuming that's a brightness slider. OpenGL driver by default. Good. We'll have to see how that all goes. Any other configs we need to worry about? I have no clue where all these older settings came from, because I've never played Daikatana. We'll play it on the, we'll test it. It looks like it is completely broken on the overlay, so we will... Where are you? In-game. Turn on the Steam overlay. And restart you for the overlay. Obviously, Daikatana is an ancient game, so it's going to run exceptionally well, theoretically. Let's play on normal, or samurai level. I love that. It's just barely tickling the computer.
Pardon the interruption, Miyamoto-san. There is a visitor waiting outside. Refuses to identify himself. Will only speak to the proprietor of the school. Also, Tanaka-san left a message earlier complaining about the injuries to his son.
I should have stayed in bed. Let me guess, Miho. It's my landlord at the door, right?
Like I said, the visitor would not give his name.
Did Mishima-san send you? Tell him I'll have his money by...
I can assure you that I am not here on Mishima's behalf. My name is Toshiro Ebihara.
You want to learn to sword fight? Great. You're a bit older than my usual clientele, but it's never too late to.
No.
Have I played Daikatana before? I may have.
Look, if you're asking for some donation...
Perhaps if you would allow me to explain, Miyamoto-san, you need only spare me a few moments.
Go on.
Not here. They may be watching.
They? They who?
Come. Let's take a stroll. I promise you it will be worth your time.
And the one thing I will say about...
Centuries ago, the shogunate...
The one thing I will say, Daikatana has a somewhat interesting premise.
The only opposition came from the Ebihara clan.
Is it a good premise? Is it a good story?
For years, the
Not
Mishimas
really.
tried to rid themselves of the Ebihara
Interesting.
without
Yes,
success.
especially for the time.
After years of frustration, the ruthless leader of the Mishimas came up with a plan. Disguising his true intent, Osaka Mishima hired a legendary swordmaster to create the ultimate weapon, the Daikatana. This legendary master was Usagi Miyamoto, your ancestor. Renowned for his warrior skills, his love of swordplay led him to become an expert swordsmith as well. It was not until the blade was completed that Usagi realized Osaka's malevolent nature. Through the power of the sword, he was able to foresee the fate that awaited mankind should Mishima ever take control of the Daikatana.
Which, granted, is a pretty cool-looking katana.
Usagi refused to hand the powerful weapon over to the Mishimas. Instead, he offered it to the shogunate's nemesis, Inshiro Ebihara, but only on the condition that it be returned to him after the evil Mishimas had been vanquished. In an epic battle atop Mount Fujiya, Inshiro used the awesome might of the Daikatana to decimate Mishima's legions. Thousands died on that battlefield, but Mishima was finally overthrown. Convinced that the mystic sword was too powerful to be wielded by mere mortals, Usagi threw the Daikatana into the heart of the raging volcano.
So you want me to create another Daikatana?
No, that's not necessary. I am one of Inshiro's direct descendants. Hard as it may be for you to believe, I was once a very wealthy man with the vast resources at my disposal. I funded an expedition to uncover the long-lost Daikatana from the bowels of the dormant volcano.
So the volcano didn't
I believe any of this.
destroy
What's the big
it.
deal? The Daikatana is still just a sword like any other, right?
Wrong. Legend has it that the Daikatana contains many secrets, even the ability to warp time and space. You see, the fabric of time is a delicate thing,
Yes.
and Usagi bestowed the sword with certain time-wandering capabilities, which have been used to alter our own perceptions of reality.
Right.
The man you know as Kagi Mishima, a descendant of the evil Osaka, found out about the discovery of the Daikatana before I even had a chance to examine the ancient artifact. He stole the sword and then used its magical powers to go back in time and change history. This world, our surroundings, are not what they appear to be. Things are not as they should be, as they were destined to be. As you may know,
Sure.
the mutagenic Marburg pox filovirus, more commonly known as MMP, first cropped up at the tail end of the millennium. Kagi claims that the Mishima family came up with a cure for the MMP virus back in the year 2030. Those claims are false. The truth is,
Even if he did alter time,
was Dr. Tatsuo Ibihara.
someone still had to do the legwork to create a vaccine. That's how that works.
Kagi was able to travel back through time and steal the cure from Tatsuo, making it his own.
I take it that that's how Kage accumulated the funds to finance his vast empire.
That's right. Of course, Mishima only gives out the cure to those he desires to have it.
I'm sorry, but I don't see what you need from me.
It's about my daughter.
Oh,
Daughter?
finally we get to the
moment
point.
of her birth, I trained my daughter Mikiko how to wield the Daikatana in case it were ever discovered. Several weeks ago, she followed Kagi in an attempt to retrieve the stolen sword. I have not heard from her since. I fear she is being held captive by Mishima at his fortress.
So you want me
Right.
to rescue her? Is that it?
Yes. And then together, you must find the Daikatana, so that history can be changed back to the way it was.
Neat story, Toshiro. But I'm not quite sure I buy it. Even if I did, I'm just a guy teaching kids how to fight with a sword.
No, you are the descendant of Usagi Miyamoto. Embrace your heritage and...
Who the...
Ninja. So they kill the old man and just knock us out. That seems like a smart move on the ninja's part.
There is nothing you can do for me, hero. But find my daughter and the Daikatana.
I can't just...
Say nothing. When the death collectors come to get my body, steal away inside the coffin. It will get you inside Mishima's fortress. The rest is up to you.
But...
You are the bloodline hero. I know you will do the right thing. Thank you.
Now, granted, those guys look like they're very much done with the job, but that's to be expected.
Odds or even.
Even.
That's a pretty nasty bump, to be honest.
How many we lose? Only 4 this time. Looks like my rock holding out. Too bad for you. Damn.
And somehow they didn't notice the one coffin wing twice as much as it should have. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Turn that down. That's a little better. And we have our first weapon, our fists. Second weapon, Ion Blaster. If you know anything about Daikatana, you'll know the Ion Blaster does not work in water. It is an electrical weapon, by all means. Also, everything seems to be a robot of some sort. And yes, you use your Ion Blaster underwater, it will hurt you. Oh, there's a way to eat these fruit, and I do not remember what the button is. What is the button? It is right. It is. It is, of course, right mouse button. Well, those frogs just murdered me. That's the other thing, is Daikatana is not the most well-designed of games. By any and all stretches of the imagination. By like any stretch of the imagination, Daikatana is not a well-designed game. If you can't guess, those, I believe those either become frogs or the other things. Either the dragonflies or the frogs. I see that turret now. No health to speak of. Standard Daikatana bullshit. Also, enemies do tend to blend in. It's a very green game. At least in the quote-unquote present parts of the timeline. And fruit being a healing item is rather unusual. Now, of course, the game can't leave you alone for 10 seconds. Of course it can't leave us alone. Gah! Stupid frog. I should have suspected it was a frog. Should have suspected it was a frog all along. Oh. On the bright side, I think half the problem is the always run being on. I don't think there's anything you can do about that one in particular. I can hear things down there. Huh. And I forget if it loads you to your last save or if it just kicks you out in general. Yeah, it did load me to my last save. It's plainly obvious that that's not a smart decision. Yeah, that is a crocodile for you, so that is not surprising. Again, can't use the pistol underwater. I guess we're just gonna need to evade crocodile. Unless we did need to trigger that, in which case that is so very, very dumb. Frog? We might need to trigger that anyway. It's hard to tell. I always forget how this first level of Daikatana goes. It's not particularly well. That did give me like 400 armor. Okay, that did unlock the main premise over the main, wait. Back? Oh. Ah. I knew there was a way forward. And I figured it was that. On to the next loading screen. I guess the next map. Oh, the second part of the map, because we're still on the part 2 map. Interesting. That's, I think I saw another health plant over here, too. Frog. Ah, you don't get much actual height off of your jumps. Imagine that's something of importance. Okay, see his crouch. Ah, we have to do some pipe climbing. Which the auto run is probably going to make awfully hard to do. So, turn off the always run. That will help. Crouch toggle is good. There we go. Just standing guard, as frogs do. Just standing guard as frogs do. Yes, the ion blaster can also ricochet its shots, but it's not very consistent. Of course, there had to be a frog at my feet. No clue what did that last bit of damage. All the enemies were dead. Also, relatively small dragonflies. They are painfully annoying. Technically, that was an innocent. Ah. Right, frogs give off a poison status. Frogs? Of course! Frogs and dragonflies inside your secret facility. Because why would you not? I mean, if you're an evil man with an evil, you know, everything, with an evil empire, you've roboticized everything else, why would you not? I mean, that's worked for Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic series wonderfully. Right? That's how that works. In theory, you could try for a hostageless and no hostages killed run, but given the Ion Blaster bounces around like no one's business, that's unlikely to happen. But what we can say is that despite it being Daikatana, it does just work. It may be jank as all hell, but that is Daikatana. Of course, we haven't gotten to the part that everybody knows about. You know, not being able to leave without your friend Superfly. And the things fall with such a anvil-sounding thud. Like a Looney Tunes style anvil. That it's like, what did you expect? Did you expect people to take it seriously? Ah, yes, and that's the other one of the other things. It is also technically a RPG. Like, we've acquired a level, but I don't know. There it is. Supposedly these things have an effect on your abilities, but I don't know for sure. Be swift. It appears to be a very bad shot, all things considered. Oh God. I am now out of ammunition, and I just launched a whole bunch of them. It was not my intention. And if that does not sum up Daikatana, there really is nothing else you can say. That the grenade launcher is terrible, as is the ion pistol. Like, if there's no better way to put Daikatana than that, there really is no other way to describe Daikatana. But it worked. So yeah, it ran. It actually ran pretty well, all things considered, especially for a game of its age. You can't say it doesn't work. It's just, it's Daikatana. Work is a term that applies to it. Designed well? No. Like, no. Not at all. But now, on to Star Ocean, The Last Hope. Specifically the 4K and Full HD remaster. Okay, has a EULA. Some games include that, some don't. Loading. Loading? It is launching. It is claiming it is launching. Oh. Okay, try Ace. I know about them. Okay, this seems to be working with the standard overlay I've made. Yeah. The new overlay. That was not the button I wanted to hit. I did not mean to hit the exit button. Square Enix, Trace, Cryware, which is a video encoder. This appears to be realistically only running with controller in mind. So it seems to be controller or keyboard only, which is exceptionally weird. Subtitles on, voices English, visual style modern, screen resolution, here we go, 1440. On full screen, thank you. Rendering, that's correct. Depth of field, turn that on. Display distance maximum. Finally. Let us begin. Looks like only 2 difficulty options from the beginning.
AD 2064. Planet Earth was on the brink of destruction. Clashes between the World Republic Federation and the various nations that opposed it sparked the outbreak of World War III. Weapons of mass destruction, deployed with complete impunity, razed the land in the blink of an eye.
Well,
People believed it was the end of the world.
full nuclear war in 2064.
The dire situation forced the 2 opposing factions to negotiate a ceasefire, reaching an agreement in only 2 weeks. However, the war may have ended, but its effects remained. With the deteriorating environment, Earth's population was
Oh, there goes France.
Those who survived the conflict lived a confined existence, trapped in underground cities.
Oh.
Countries joined together to form the Greater United Nations and turn their eyes skyward to space.
The Greater United
With the
Nations.
establishment of the USTA, or Universal Science and Technology Administration, man began to seek new worlds beyond the stars. AD 2087, the first year of the new space date calendar. Thanks to the success of Professor Trillis Bachtine's warp drive experiments, mankind's dream inched ever closer to reality. The USTA secretly began to implement its SRF project, the Space Reconnaissance Force. Space Date 10, at last, the first official SRF mission. This moon base will be the start of our travels. I bet they're rehashing all this stuff at the ceremony. All right, guess I better be going.
Edge? I knew you'd be here.
Of course.
Boy, I just can't get away from you, can I, Raimi?
How long do you think we've known each other? I know all your hiding places, Edge.
Yeah, you've been hanging on to me for as long as I can remember. Remember how you'd always cry when I wasn't around? Sure took the fun out of playing hide and seek with you.
That was ages ago. How long are you going to keep treating me like a child?
As long as you're so quick to flare up like that, I guess. If you're here, I guess the departure ceremony's over, huh? Anyway, there's still some time left until we take off. I'm gonna work out a few kinks in the battle simulator.
Sure. Hey, wait a second. You skipped the ceremony on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a guy for formalities.
Well, I thought I was gonna be able to meet a real hero. I might have gone if Commander Kenny was there, but Shimada's pontificating would just put me to sleep.
That's USTA Deputy Director Shimada to you.
Oh, we're using titles now, are we?
I didn't want to see Crow gloating over his success anyway. It just really bugs me.
And you call me childish. You just better not be late for launch preparations, you hear?
Welcome to the battle simulator. Lesson on moving. Okay, so it is very much a kind of Tales of style combat, although it does automatically close with weapons distance, which is different. So it's all depending on who you're directly facing. You'll automatically target. Okay. The select button, or is that the, Okay, that's the start button. That's different. Okay, so that's only temporary targeting. Okay, that's how that's done. God occurs automatically. Difference between stats. Cannot be performed while standing still or moving. Okay, it's an interesting real-time battle system. Some attacks are completely unguardable, of course they are.
Take that. Take that. Take that.
Changing leaders. Again. AI, they do have an AI mode. Okay, yep. There we go. There's the angle lock. I was trying to perform that earlier. Does this just not end on its own? There we go. Defeat all enemies. Go. There we go. There we go. Little messier than expected, but that happens. Press and hold the jump button to ready a blindside. Okay. Okay, and that just does an extreme amount more damage. That was at least double. That must have been all criticals. That is going to be an interesting thing to try and pull off. That seemed a little jank. Enemy? Enemy! Okay, apparently I broke him. By, completely messing up that somehow. Try that again. Okay, apparently he just breaks very easily if you don't pull this first blind side off. Ow. Okay, that is slightly more jank than I would expect. Okay, and you can do long range. I've only been pulling them off at short range. There we go. Maybe? There we go. Blindside counters. Oh boy. Okay, and if they have a counter, you can be countered. Nope, that didn't work. Ow. I keep getting countered. Ay, 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 ay. Come on. Let's try that again. When it's targeting icon, it begins flashing. Missed that timing. Oh, come on. I'm attempting. Oh, come on. God blast it! Whatever. Let's try this again. Oh, this guy just does not want to attack, period. Of course he's got a counter. That's gonna get me murdered. They are taking literally no damage. That's just not working. Something about this blindside system is not working. Chain combos. Rush combos. while pressing the chain combo buttons. Stay calm, make sure to hold the button while pressing. Hold down the button. There we go. Good lord, that was needlessly more complicated than it needed to be. Needlessly more complicated than that needed to be, I think. Come in contact with enemies, will initiate combat. Depending on how combat is made, damage conditions will change. From the front, battle begins normally. Enemy comes in contact with you, surprise attacks. Preemptive attacks if you hit an enemy from behind. Multiple attacks are possible. Bonus board, tiles will be added, far right of the screen, depending on certain bonuses, depending on how many tiles have been added to the board. %10 for each blue tile. Yellows when you defeat multiple enemies with a single attack. And money. Special arts or symbols, 1% replenish. 1 SP, 1 party SP. If you get that full, and they're all the same linked tiles, you only lose half. Status boosts, temporarily battle parameter increases. Yep, that's to be expected. Status bonus buffs, fairly standard. Only 4 buffs can be active at a time. Some can be stacked, while others are limited to single use. Select a various styling style for each character. Beat S, beat B, and beat N. S is strike, which is an offensive style, blindsiding opponents. B is for burst, it's the defensive that utilizes rush attacks. And N is neutral. Okay. I don't think I want to do that. I think we're done. For some reason, that blindside countering the counter, it just did not seem to work. Like, whenever it would start flashing, I could not dodge out of the attack range. Like, either the frame amount was so small, or just something was not clicking.
SRF 001 through 004, commencing auxiliary engine power adjustment.
You imbecile! Are you trying to make me look bad?
Sir, we're terribly sorry, sir. It won't happen again. Please accept our most sincere apologies.
Admiral on the bridge?
Moon Base Commander Stephen D. Kenny, reporting from Earth, sir.
Ha! A rather leisurely return for the great Earth hero, Lightspeed Kenny, wouldn't you say? It hardly bodes well for the commander of such an important mission to miss his own departure ceremony.
Oh.
My apologies, Deputy Director Shimada. Truly, I am blessed with a superior of vast kindness and understanding to have been assigned trivial duties at a time like this.
Very well. I leave the rest to you. I'm exhausted, Commander. I had to oversee the ceremony in your place, you know. In any case, the guests seemed pleased. It made for a fine dawn to the age of space exploration.
A number of governmental officials were expected to attend the ceremony, sir. The presence of the commander would have just been a distraction. I'm sure that was his concern.
Oh, someone had Kenny be elsewhere. That's unfortunate.
The ceremony is just a formality anyway. We'll celebrate their departure from here. Yes, their departure.
Right trigger to walk, X to sprint. Yeah. And there's a toggle too. Directory. I'm assuming this is a save point. Yes. 20 save slots. That seems generous. Then again, we just spent a half hour on an entire tutorial. Let us not rest. There's so much to potentially see. Okay, there's the map. And it labels things you can interact with, so that's kind of cool. I would like to be able to zoom the map out a little bit, but that doesn't appear to be something we can do. Ah, it's the laundry room. Men and women's laundry rooms. Oh, another save point. Oh dear. The moon, say goodbye to the moon base for a while. Yeah, apparently. I'm assuming that's some type of airlock. Ah, this is the actual bridge. Be on time for the launch? I hope so. Ah, he is our boss. Well then, who's back here that this man was so infatuated with? Item creation. Oh, that's going to be an interesting thing. And this must be the engines. No, this is just storage. Do we not get access to any engineering? Huh. I mean, it's a fairly small ship, all things considered, but it actually is kind of neat. Seems like it does a lot of weird extra checking in the whole saving process. Which is kind of weird. Also, we've gone out of full screen mode, somehow. Probably when I,
What's that?
Woo!
Ah!
Gotcha! Hey there, kid. It's nice to meet ya. You're Edge, right? Of course you are. You don't have to tell me.
someone's hacked our systems.
Anyway, greetings from USTA headquarters. Little old me, the name's Welch. As you can see, I'm a bashful little girl. I'll be the one supporting you from Earth, okay? This'll be fun. Looking forward to working with ya. Cheers!
Okay.
What is it, Edge? What's with that look on your face? Oh, you don't mind if I use your first name? Nah, of course you don't.
No,
Boy, is this one indecisive or what? Yeesh. Hey, you need a good poke in the eyes, is that it? Come here. Poke, poke.
Hey, hold up a sec.
You just came out of nowhere.
Man, I heard each ship would be getting support from Earth, but I never imagined anything like this.
Didn't think your support would be so cute, did you? Anyway, from here on out, I got your back, man. Straight to the fiery depths of hell.
That's really not the kind of thing I want to be hearing before takeoff.
Relax, you'll be fine. Let's see now. Your first destination is Planet Eos, right? Fortunately, the unmanned exploration craft didn't report anything dangerous out there, like giant outer space bugs or whatever. So yeah,
Giant
Edge.
outer space bugs.
Is this the kind of support we're to expect, ma'am?
Ma'am, what am I, your mother? We're gonna be together for a while, kid, so let's dispense with the formalities. Looks like you got another call. Oh well, enough lovers patter for now. Talk to you later.
Goodness.
Yo, Edge.
He just hangs up on him. Oh, that's a comedic relief. Just hang up on him.
Don't just cut the transmission like that.
This channel is not for communication with the captain of the Calnus, sir. Or is there something a common crew member can do for you? Captain Crow F. Almedio of the SRF-001 Aquila?
Pretending to be all dutiful doesn't suit you, Edge. You skipped the department.
Ah, so there's some type of beef between these two.
Who cares? It's got nothing to do with you.
Raimi was upset. You really can be a pain sometimes, you know that?
You done?
Look, just don't be too hard on her, okay? Seeing the two of you fight makes your big bro so sad.
We're not actually fighting. And would you quit with the theatrics already? It's really irritating.
Yeah. Hey, come on, Edge. Does it really bug you that much that I made Captain?
It clearly does.
Actually, no, it doesn't. In fact, I think it's only natural you were promoted. It's just... you're getting so far ahead of me.
You really haven't changed at all. Still the same kid you were back in school and at the academy. I'm not as far ahead as you might think. There's no need for you to rush yourself.
Goodbye.
Wait a second. Edge, you realize just how important our duties are with the SRF, don't you?
I mean,
Everyone shares the same responsibility, captain or not.
from
Look,
if
we're all in the same
my
boat.
sci-fi knowledge
Just as
is
nervous
anything to
as you are.
stand by,
Captain Almedio
he is
nervous? What, we expecting meteor showers
Edge is
tomorrow?
somewhere along
This
the
isn't a
lines
trip.
of navigator or helmsman,
How should I put this?
which is kind of an important duty, to be honest.
Yeah, let's.
At least based on my Star Trek and other franchises knowledge, that tends to be where they put that particular
Bon voyage.
seat
Oh,
at.
gosh.
Based on the attitude and altitude indicators, I'm gonna guess he's
Oh well.
one of the two
Can't
pilots.
say that forever.
Looks like they have a standard pilot-co-pilot situation.
Let's get the show on the road.
Captain on deck. Oh,
All hands in position.
Captain on deck.
SRF-003 Calnus. Initiate launch procedures.
Roger.
I was expecting a slightly more French accent given the mustache, but he seems alright.
So, this is it.
Indeed it is. We've charged these children with the future of our species.
But why would you
Let us
send
salute the
children?
production of our seeds of hope.
Unless you're planning some type of
001 Aquila, launch preparations complete. 002
semi-colonization effort, which that's still not a good idea to send children. Even with adults on board as well.
Steady hand and perform as you always have.
And children's a relative term. I would put them at the earliest in their later teens.
Brave pioneers charged with the destiny of mankind, about to depart for space unknown. I pray for the success of your journey.
Granted, we're not going to get very far into this story, but we'll at least get a launch sequence. Aquila has been launched.
001 Aquila, launch confirmed. 002 Belena, preparing to launch. 002 Belena, launch confirmed.
SRF-003 Calnus. Engage!
Yes, sir. Initiating launch.
He's currently acting pilot. Looks like they use some type of magnetic rail launch system. Ah, there's at least 4 in total. That's 5. We didn't get the names of E and F. Warp drive initiating! Oh god, the spinning! The lurching, the spinning!
120 seconds to warp out.
Gravity balance, ship functions, all normal.
Prepare for warp out.
Finally, Eos. And I'm gonna be the first to take that one small step onto the surface.
You really are just a big kid, Edge.
I mean, everyone would be slightly excited for that.
An honor.
Edge, be careful to keep the ship stable when we warp out.
Yeah, just ignore me, why don't you?
I mean, you do have to get out, you do have to warp out in order to successfully be able to land. That does not look normal.
I'm getting a gravity reading.
There's a meteor-like object crossing our planned trajectory. But from this distance, I can't confirm any gravity wave interference.
Sounds unexpected. Something else can travel through warp, whatever that may be. It didn't appear to impact us at all.
Object has passed us. I'm detecting some minor fluctuations in the gravitational field.
A meteor affecting our gravitational field? Isn't that strange?
Yeah, a little bit.
Calnus, commencing warp out. 10 seconds to warp out. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Uh-oh. That was a wave.
What's going on? Status report.
There's a fluctuation inside our wormhole, sir. An abnormal gravity wave is spreading fast. It's producing an error in our subspace flight tracer.
Too late! We can't avoid it!
What?
Captain, interference from the gravity wave is spreading throughout the wormhole.
Uh-oh, the wormhole is collapsing.
Disappeared? We're gonna lose our navigational coordinates.
Damn. What about the other 4 ships?
No idea, sir. I'm not detecting them in subspace.
Well, you're all alone now.
New coordinate axis. We've got to initiate an emergency warp out.
Raimi, I'll handle 3, 5, and 9. You take the rest.
Coordinate access input complete.
Warp out preparations complete.
Edge!
Everything's ready. Captain!
Emergency warp out. All hands brace for impact.
This is not going to end well, necessarily. Oh, good, they did assume a brace position, at least. Of course, now they don't know where they are. And hopefully the ship has not been heavily damaged. That's a very purple planet. Very, very purple. And I think we can also successfully say that the game does function as well as can be expected. Slightly annoyed at no keyboard and mouse controls, but that's a me thing more than anything. Oh! Yeah, the ship's not flying anymore. We just lost a wing, I saw that.
Damn. Did we crash land?
Yeah, you came out right into the gravity field of a ship. Hopefully it has atmosphere.
Where
It seems to.
are we?
Yeah, that ship's not flying anytime soon.
Raimi? Raimi! Raimi, wake up!
Where's the rest of the crew? Oh, there they are.
Thank God we're all safe.
We do appear to be,
Snow
Captain.
was critically wounded. Let's be grateful for small mercies.
Yeah.
I'm issuing new directives. Status report.
Damage to the ship is severe. The Calnus is in very serious condition, sir.
I'm not even sure it could fly.
However, based on my analysis of the data, I can say with confidence that we've arrived on planet Eos.
Oh, so we did arrive.
Right, we made it after all.
Problem, we can't go back.
We're not the only ones who crash-landed, sir. I've detected other ships in the vicinity that probably encountered the warp anomaly.
Well, considering there were only 4 others.
The Calnus is here. Here's the Balena and Dante de Leon.
The Dante Leon.
First, let's join the Belena and Dante de Leon crews. Once we're back in operating condition, we'll request further instructions from USTA headquarters.
Assuming our transmissions can work, sir.
What do you think happened to the Aquila?
It appears the Aquila attempted an emergency warp out as well, but I'm afraid that's the only information we currently have.
Well, there's your answer on the Aquila. It concerns me, but there's nothing we can do right now. We have to concentrate on the task in front of us. The repair crew should prioritize subspace communication functions.
Good.
We can't do anything without comms. I need those repairs completed double time. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Maverick.
Sir.
I'd like
Edge Maverick. Oh, that's a name.
Yes, sir.
Edge Maverick. Oh, oh. Edge Maverick. Oh my good lord. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get over that name. Edge Maverick. That is a name. There we go. I knew there was buttons that did things. We have some blueberries, some blackberries, and some sage. Ah, it does do these standard Tales of things when it's percentages. I've said it before, not necessarily with on stream, but I love it when they do percentages of HP, MP, etc., etc., because that keeps items useful throughout the game. Unlike what, say, the Final Fantasy series does, which is straight stat numbers. And it makes it very handy and useful. What do we have equipped? No weapon, standard armor, neck and wrist accessories. Okay, that's one way to do it. What do we have in battle config? Rising Blade. The standard, his only move he has. Field skills, so he has some interesting. A fairly standard status screen, has elements, standard elements. Again, that name, Edge Maverick, is just really kind of weird. Yeah, use beat ass. I think that'll be good for him. Turn back on that full screen. Mainly because I think the game does look better in full screen. Bloom seems a little excessive, but for... what I'm assuming... well, what is clearly a remake. Apparently we cannot harvest items yet. I mean, I'm not sure how you can do it without heavy equipment. Like, that's gonna be painful. Murphy's Law never fails. I don't think we're going to go very far, especially since we have... Well, we made it past the tutorial cutscenes. And it is, unfortunately, time for us to move on to the next game. There it is. And quits instantly. Well, that's good. That's good. So as I said, that seemed to just work good, which is great to see. On to the next game, which I have no idea how this is going to work, but, or how far we're going to get in the next hour. But, huh. I don't think I have a Frontier account, so we'll have to do that really quickly. Oh, passwords. Exit out of the terms and conditions. Email verification. Should be coming through on the phone anytime shortly. Come on. God, this email client is terrible at times. There we go. God, this email client is actually terrible. Let's just look at the accounts. That should hopefully require me never to have to log into that account again. Well, via that method. At least, assuming it functions anything like Star Trek Online's. Log in with Steam. Thank you. Working. Of course. I hit the play button. Oh, good lord. What have you done to the launcher? And it crashed. Oh, dear lord. Let us try that again. Sometimes they crash on first launch. I have no idea if it was going to or not. The client It just crashes on launch. Okay. It crashes on launch. Alright then. It's claiming it is deck certified, so I'd hate to switch compatibility to like hotfix, but let's and see what it does. Okay, there's the hotfix. That's better. Yes, log in with Steam. Oh, the animated series. I watched a lot of that growing up. Oh, it appears hotfix is also broken. So we may need. I did watch a lot of the animated series. It was glorious. That's actually okay, switch over to experimental. Proton. And see if that fixes it. Actually, the most interesting thing about that, the Batman the Animated Series, is that's actually the origins of Harley Quinn as a character. I don't know if you know that. She did not exist as a character until they created her for that. Okay. Will you crash or will you not? I'm hoping experimental works. Because we get the first couple of seconds of a cutscene and then it crashes. Alright, can I have a look at the crash report? Alrighty. It's dangerous on the Proton database. Does it say? Oh, yeah, a lot of great tragic characters came from that. Looks like Proton 11 is broken. Thank you, Zachary TNT. Does not start the play. Switch to, this person said it worked with 9. As of 2 weeks ago, people were working on getting with 9. Some other problems we're having with 11. Looks like 1034 is probably the good one to go with. We can do that. And this is why having multiple versions of Proton installed is handy, because sometimes things they break. We'll try GE Proton 34. I mean, a lot of... Yes. ChatGPT is particularly bad about that. However, what I find, and this is mostly because Google is Google and scrapes everything, I've found their AI summary tool to actually be somewhat useful. But again, that's merely because it's Google and they've already scraped the internet and it just surmises everything in one location. Most of the time, that seems to be pretty good. Very true. Well, that was 1034 and that did not work. Alright, 1034 does not appear to work. Alright, let's try compatibility. Someone was saying... What'd they say? 9.4. 9.04? Really? That's a really old version. But I wouldn't be surprised if it works. Yeah, I can't blame Croc for doing that. Although he is, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. He made it clear he didn't have feelings. However, why he decided to, well... She's the one that fell in love with him, and he wanted nothing to do with it. You're right, and that's one of the tamer versions of Killer Croc, all things considered, which is good. Nope. Every time, every Proton version appears to be broken. Alright. This might be the first time. What else do we have? And someone strict to experimental. That doesn't seem to work. A month ago it seemed to be working, which is unfortunate. Seeing a lot of weird things with some other people. Some people were saying it was working, but not recently. Someone on Bazite, they 10.0-3. Okay, here's someone running our distribution, the same distro we are, 10.0-3. Do we even have that one installed is the question. Was that regular Proton or was that, where was it? Just regular Proton. I don't think I have that particular version installed. And that's one of the things, is that's always been their relationship, and it's always been extremely abusive. From the get-go, they made it very obvious that he is an extremely abusive individual towards Harley. And she clearly is suffering battered woman syndrome. Like, clearly. And here's the thing that you have to remember with Harley. She is a licensed psychiatrist. Licensed. She should be able to recognize us, but even someone who is a professional and deals with these types of things and should recognize these things doesn't. And fell into the same trap many people do fall into. I don't think we're going to get Elite Dangerous functioning at all. Yeah, that's very true also. Alright, what can we do? We've tried most versions that I can see. Alright, let's... Yeah, and granted, it has been a long time since I watched the animated series. But it was always good. Now, granted... Oh, I watched that. Batman Extreme. That was an amazing series. I watched that a lot when that came up. Alright. Not Proton Tricks. We're looking for... Oh, shush, Steam. Oh, it did just disconnect. I was like, Steam? Steam, what are you doing? Disconnecting my controller? Why? No, but it did actually shut that down. Alright. Alright. We will install the latest version of Catchy. We'll see if the Proton Catchy version will possibly fix that. We'll also grab Proton Catchy 10. Sunset version, just in case. One thing I will say is that there's the number of Proton packages have increased in here since I looked at it last. What was the other one people were saying worked? 10.0 Oh, that's regular one. That's regular Steam. Might need to restart Steam in order to get it to recognize those. We'll do that real quick. Yeah, that's very true. And I can't blame you there. Oh, Steam now has to validate. It's deciding to validate our Elite Dangerous install because it's like, what are you doing? I'm surprised it didn't do that, didn't do that before. Okay. Now all of a sudden it wants to pre-cache, now wants to do shader caching. Whatever. Whatever, Steam. Whatever. We'll try the Sunset version 10. And see if that might help. Because I've not played Elite Dangerous. I've heard good things about it. But never really tried. Processing shaders. Launching. Hiding. And Batman the Animated Series was actually good because it also tied into the Superman one of the era, which led into Justice League Unlimited. I mean, they all tie together very nicely. The only thing, one of the things, however, that's an annoyance with the animated series, it doesn't have a Jason Todd, which is a good thing. Because Jason Todd could be just a problem. And there goes crashing again. Because we all know how Jason Todd ends. So that catchy version also doesn't work. Oh, it's just really sad that I can't get it to work. Could it be because I'm on a 7600, a 7900 XTX? That couldn't be it. Looks like most people are running NVIDIA cards and getting it to run. Well, I'm almost out of options when it comes to this compatibility. The only thing I can think of, and this is a catchy OS Proton thing, is they tend to be slightly more cutting edge than even GE Proton. Which is the case a lot of the time. Now we're processing the new shaders because every time you switch a Proton version, it has to reprocess shaders. Because Linux. Well, it's because we're using a Vulkan for its shaders. Which is itself some type of compatibility, which is an agnostic, for lack of a better term, graphics interpretation layer. I mean, I won't cry if I've not had a chance to try Elite Dangerous. I will be upset. But no, that crashed immediately. We didn't even get it crossing the screen, and it's like, and broke it. Well, this is why we test games. It's been a while since we've had one that broke a little bit. This is the first one I've seen that I just can't get it to work, period. Has anyone got it to work on anything earlier than 10-3? Looks like a lot of people were using 10.0-3. That appeared to be the most stable version from what I'm seeing. So I may need to track down that particular version. The compatibility. So I might need to track down that particular version. It looks like someone got it to run on 1023. Bypasses the launcher. Okay. Someone did apparently get it to work bypassing the launcher, which is weird. I do have 1029 here. No guarantee it's gonna work. But this is what, again, this is exactly why I do these types of streams, because things break. And when games break, it's good to know that you can either fix them or they just break. Okay, try again. Nope, crashes instantly. And since I'm not able to look at the crash log, I can't actually tell you what keeps breaking on it. Because if I could view the crash log, I might be able to actually understand what's going on and what keeps breaking. So everyone's running 10.0.3. Okay. Well, let's pull back up our Proton Plus and see if we can't locate that particular version. 10 ton. Okay. I may need to grab the other Proton program, I think. I did have two things that I used for... There it is, QT. That was the other one I've had installed before. Because Proton Plus is normally pretty good, and that's what I use. But Proton Up QT, I believe, lets you add particular versions. Okay, yes, here we are. We need to add a version of... No, it doesn't exist. Huh. Oh. I think we may have to say this one just does not work. Yeah, 'cause here's 10-4, but I need 10-3. I've tried all the versions of Proton I can find and I can look at. See, this one says it worked with 1030. Maybe a server connection. See, this person was having a problem with UMU Proton 4, which is one we have installed. And this person crashes after 2 or 3 minutes. We can't get past like 5 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds. It looks like 10.0-3 was the most stable version for like the vast majority of people. Now this one had luck with 1027. So we'll try. I don't have 1027 installed, do I? No, I do not. So we'll go back into GE, and it was 1027, was it? We've seen 1027 be fine. And people were having luck with 10.3, and this 10.3 may be different than the other 10.3, but they may be similar. They may have similar nature. And this is generally just a problem with Linux from time to time. So it's not surprising that these types of things happen. Some games just refuse to work, which is unfortunately just the case. We might need to add a report. I'll definitely have to add a report if we can't get this working. Because it's less of a thing to be like, oh, a game works. That's good. It just works with default things. If it refuses to work, period, those are the types of things you kind of want to report, especially when things just don't. And it's entirely possible that what currently is broken is because we're on a newer kernel of Linux than what we were before. That combined with the newer adjustments Valve has made to Proton, which they have made some new tweaks, especially with the Steam frame coming up. They nearly borked their own because they hard-coded. They actually hard-coded it to run games as though they're running on an ARM processor, and it was like, oh, that's definitely not going to work because that's an ARM processor. Anyway, someone had luck with 1027. And here it goes, pre-shading cachers again. Pre-caching shaders, that's the term, not pre-shading cachers. Let us try this one last time. Because we put in a half hour into this, and I'm going to be honest, we are currently out of ideas. We've tried many different versions of Proton, and none of them even want to seem like they want to work. And again, this could just be this particular system not working with it, which is a possibility. Unlike what we have with Destiny, which when we tried Destiny 2, that was entirely based on their DRM. Like, it straight up will not work. This one appears to be some type of compatibility problem, which absolutely sucks. Yeah, that's as far as that goes. All right. So we will need to log in with Steam. Which means I'll need my phone. Wherever did I put you? Approve. Sign in. And ProtonDB crashed. Wow. Everything does not want to work today. ProtonDB even crashed for us. Wow. There we go. Oh. Oh, there we go. Late dangerous. There we go. See, we tried 10.4 and it does not work. The mini ED launcher. It might be a launcher problem. I would not be surprised if it is, in fact, a launcher problem. Dangerous. ED launcher. There it is. Cross-platform launcher for Elite Dangerous. Whenever I'm navigating... Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a tar? Really? I hate that it's a tar. Like, I don't have a way of really dealing with those. Extract them. Okay, that's been downloaded to the downloads folder. Okay, there it is. Extract here. I have no clue what that extracted, to be honest. Have I ever said that sometimes we have fun times? Because sometimes they're fun times. There we are. There's the launcher. Okay, now we need to stop the game, because apparently it's running in the background still. Install the files. Open you. Thank you. And we need to minimize the ed launch.exe. And we need to grab the mini launcher. Okay, the thing called mini ED launcher. There you are. Move here. Oh, I should say copy here. I won't keep that there. Yep. There we go. Launch options. I know I saw those down here. Alrighty. Let us now switch it back over to latest. No, not the latest TE. It was what was the one that was recommended? 10.4. Let's see if that worked. Negative. Try that and see if that does it. Well, the launcher works. Still crashes. Well, it was in fact worth a shot. It would seem Proton... Well, it doesn't matter what version of Proton we use. Elite Dangerous is just borked. So... Add our report. Oh, what do you need me? There we go, system information. There we go. Devices have been saved. Now maybe we can go back and do the Elite Dangerous thing now. Now will you let me? Add my report. Yes! Here we go! Next, how does this work? First time I've done this. Via that. Glorious Egg Roll. We tried mini. We tried mini. We tried many. What versions? We tried a lot of versions. Normally we use the latest one, which was, I think, is 11.3. I think that's the latest version of yeah, it's 11-3, I think it is. GE latest, which I think is like I said, it's 11.3. All right, GE Proton. Right, needs to have a dash in there. I was able to install it? Yes. Yes. No. The headline. After 3 seconds in game. Used in the past. As displayed their reports. I cannot get the Catchies. GE. And various regular proton versions, including both hotfix and experimental. Submitted. Okay. That's our first Proton submission for an actual failed game, which is disappointing. We did try, and we tried our hardest. Honestly, that that is disappointing to see. But it is understandable. And here we run into the flaw in my particular rating system. I have the ranks of S, A, and B. I don't go anything below that because if the game does not launch and be in any degree playable, it does not deserve a rating. Yeah, I know. It's not the first game I've encountered that just breaks like that. I tried Destiny 2, although Destiny's problem is a DRM problem because Bungie didn't make it compatible when they could have. Before they've been gutted, which they've been gutted. Lately. As for Elite Dangerous, other people have played it in the past. It's just, it does not work anymore. So I don't know what broke. It could have been something on Valve's end as they've been working towards the new Steam frame thing. That did, in fact, break several compatibility layers. From what I was reading. Although I think they fixed that with a quick hotfix because someone did a stupid. So that was disappointing. But let's not keep us down. We have one more game to try. Yeah, Destiny's completely broken. In multiple ways than one. If I heard correctly, and this was a few weeks ago, just because of how I take in the gaming news cycles nowadays, I'm weeks behind on it. They almost gutted the dev team, the literal team developing the last update for Destiny. They gutted them on accident when they were doing their last set of cuts. Which is wild. Like, why would you even do that? Anyway. So. And Destiny was a known one not to work. Elite Dangerous should by all rights have worked. But it didn't. And I tried every Proton version that I could think of that people had used and everything, and it did not. So right now we're moving on to Star Ocean, The Divine Force. The last game of the day. Okay, there we go. Once again, it loads in the exact same way as the other Star Ocean game did, in a weird window altogether. The text is broken. There's supposed to be text here. That's wild. That's wild. Like, there's broken text. Let us just close you. Wow, that's a first. I've never seen it break that badly. Let's try Proton Experimental on you. Because here's the one thing I've noticed, is that weirdly enough, Hotfix is often more broken than Experimental. And this is a weird thing with, particularly going with Valve's versions of Proton. The Experimental one, which is the one everyone throws in the could be broken, works better than the other version. Their hotfix version. No, it's still broken. Like, I know what this is, but can we even get a menu? Okay, Star Ocean. You don't have to go that hard. Yeah, the menu is completely broken. Huh. I've never seen that happen. So we'll drop back to Proton 10 and see if that fixes it. We might have two games that just don't run well at all. Weird. Yeah, the text is just not being displayed. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. We've seen broken video before due to other things, but never text just not function, period. Thine Force. So let's consult the wiki. People saying it is playable. 8.5. Someone got it to run in 11.3 2 weeks ago. Recent versions will fail to launch. I mean, 8.5 is not the worst one we can use. I mean, I've used older versions than that before. Like, I've had some Final Fantasy XI installs that require the use of Proton 7. Okay, Proton 8 has been installed. Thank you, Steam. It claims it is launching. Oh, right. Because I switched Proton versions, it's going to be like I have to re-download the entire game again. Okay. Or not. It's just doing shader compilation. No, the text is still broken. That is weird. Like, I don't even know how you fix that. What can we do? Yeah, we were just gonna have two very broken games at the end. Which is unfortunate, because I actually wanted to play more Star Ocean and see what this latest version did. But it just... that is... huh. Yeah, because that's Fedora 34. They're up to Fedora 44 at this point. Some people are saying to use... they're saying to use that command. I don't think that's going to work. So we'll add that as part of the launch commands and see if that fixes it. And we'll try hotfix as well. Now, granted, if you were doing a proper diagnosis step, you wouldn't, No, text is still gone. Yeah, all the text is gone. Like, that's all the text is gone. Oh, my lord. I've never seen a game break that badly. I mean, it launches, but that's about it. I mean, yeah, I'd say yes. Yes, if you can get around games that just break and are like, huh. Oh, that's new. Because here's the thing. The other Star Ocean game, which is technically an older remaster, that worked fine. This one just doesn't. What I can do... let's see, what was some of the other ones people were using? 705. I don't have 705. I've got 706. We have 706. Then see if that helps. I mean, I doubt it is going to, but... I mean, apparently it has very bad text scaling anyway. So that could be half the problem. Is that it's getting significant, that the text scaling issue is just completely broken. Although I still don't know how this person got it to work. 7-6. Try ace. Yes, yes. No, Nope, it is still broken. Oh, that's a shame. I wanted to actually play this game and see what the later Star Oceans are like. Huh. So we've tried hotfix, we've tried experimental, we've tried 10, we've tried 8, and we've tried 7. And we've tried Ketchy's latest. Let's try UMU Proton. Because I have UMU Proton 9 installed for reasons that evade me. I mean, they do evade me. Does it just not launch with the UMU Proton? It does not launch with UMU Proton. That's relatively fine. I mean, not really, but... Let's try Ketchy Proton's End of Life version 10. And I will say, we were on a roll of how many games just worked. We were actually on a roll. And then we just had two that just didn't. I wonder if it's just the opening. That is just very weird that it's that badly broken. Let's see if we can get in game whether or not that it's fixed. I'm hoping that it's just a main screen.
Ocean of stars.
Negative. It just does not work. Now, granted, we can say it does boot, but is actually completely unplayable. And for that, we have to call that a B tier. As far as we can tell, it can work, but there's a definite problem. Add my report. Star Ocean the Divine Force. Launched it there. We tried all variants, but we tried specifically GE. Proton 11.3. Actually, we will do a Google search. Star Ocean Divine Force. No text. Oh, definitely a problem. I'm assuming it's a sizing problem. Like, I'm assuming the text is actually there, but... Yeah. It would seem there is no solution to that. Which is a shame, because I would like to play more Star Ocean games, but the game is unplayable. Well, not necessarily. What else can we do to... What else could we do to make this work? We've tried catchy, we've tried the latest, we've tried experimental, we've tried hotfix, we've tried many older versions. I'll try random GE Proton 742. 742 just is a weird one to have already installed, but I think I had to for some games' compatibility. And you never know. You never know until you try. Again, I assume the text is actually there, but it might not be. I'm not sure what else we could do. To be honest, I'm not sure if there's anything else we can do. Well, I try and be thorough. Because here's the thing, we were able to install it. Technically. And here's the weird thing about this, is that technically, I did not see the initial menu. The text wasn't there. The initial menu did not exist. No text in existence. No text at all. That's a better term. Installs and loads, but no text is displayed at all in any menu or gameplay. Hotfix, experimental, catchy, 10, sunset, catchy latest, because I think we tried catchy latest, and several regular Proton versions and many GE Proton versions. Because otherwise the game looked like it loaded and would play very well. Otherwise, it's just... it does not work. And again, it's entirely possible, and I will say this. When kernel 7.2 gets patched down to us in Bazite, which is the current version that they are working on, the dev team that's behind this version of Linux, they're doing their best. They had a massive issue with the Steam Deck version. It's been months that they've been working on it. It's a small dev team that works on this version of Linux in their spare time. But they've been ramming their head into all sorts of problems, getting the Steam Deck compatible version running. But once that's done and out of the way, 7.2 will be out of the way, and that may solve that entire problem. We'll have to come back and see. But I'm going to be honest, with a machine as powerful as this, with a 9800X X3D and a 7900 XTX, the fact that the game is that broken is a bit unfortunate. I mean, unlike Elite Dangerous, it actually loaded. I could get numbers off of it if I didn't care at all about the story and any text at all, which would be very annoying. Especially in an RPG like Star Ocean tends to be. You could theoretically play it. I've just never seen it be that badly broken. Just, that's terrible. that is actually terrible. Oh. And the thing is, Square Enix is the publisher. I like Square Enix. They publish some great games. They're not, clearly, whatever version, Tri-Ace, the actual devs, this was kind of just a thrown together PC port. Clearly there wasn't a ton of, I don't want to say a ton of thought, but there wasn't a lot of extra effort put into it. Which is a shame. Because they've had, an RPG with no text. Because they've had 4 years to improve their text scaling, and they haven't even. So I'm hoping Tri-Ace is still around. I think they still are. I don't think they were one of the studios that Square got rid of. I think Tri-Ace might be an internal studio, so they might have suffered some problems. I'll need to look that up now. Ace. They're a Japanese developer. Okay, they do make the Valkyrie. Okay, they make the Valkyrie profile games. Okay, so they are still around. I thought they were still made games. This was the last game they made before... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. Oh, they made the Resonance of Fate? Oh, I have that one. Oh, that's unfortunate. Wait, they made the 360 and the PlayStation 3 port of Lightning Returns? Interesting. Yeah, Tri-Ace has been around a long time, starting in '96 with the first Star Ocean. And they've almost always worked really well with Square Enix. Yeah, they have a Tri-Ace actually has a game slated for release this year. Octopims. I've never even heard of that. Supposedly it's coming out this year for Windows, but God knows what that is. Yeah, they've been around for a while. However, I'm looking at the Wikipedia article, so take this for all that it's worth. the last paragraph in their Wikipedia article. Japanese mobile company Nepro Japan acquired them in 2015, in February 2015. Despite being acquired by a company focused on mobile gaming, Tri-Ace continued developing for consoles, as evidenced by Integrity and Faithfulness in 2016 and The Divine Force in 2022. But weeks before the release for Star Ocean The Divine Force, Tri-Ace was reported to have financial issues and was insolvent, is what they're claiming, is what that claims. But their website is still up. Excuse me, the game is apparently... The game I just mentioned is apparently out on Steam. Okay. Let's have a look at it. Apparently they are still around. Octo... Octopimbs. What in the world is this particular malarkey? Social deduction multiplayer action game for 3 to 10 people. Huh? I mean, that's a departure from the games you're well known for. That's very weird. I don't know why they'd make that, but that's very weird. And they're hiring. So Tri-Ace is still around. Mostly it looks like grads. New graduates. And they have some other things. Oh, the gaming space, especially in the West, is not what it used to be. In Japan, it's actually still fairly healthy. Like, it's still fairly healthy in Japan. Outside of Sony. But Sony has... Sony and Microsoft overextended themselves badly. Nintendo's still doing fine. Relatively speaking. And a lot of Japanese developers are doing fine. But... looks like they've had an opening for a UI artist for the last 2 years. So they're having issues hiring people. It's not that they can't make games, it's that there's a lot of problems in the Western gaming market, and it mostly involves a severe budget bloat. I mean, that's the big problem, is they're trying to make a game as for everybody, which means it has so much stupid budget on it that it's just, you have to sell so many copies. And when you make a game for everybody, you made a game for nobody. I mean, that's Microsoft's problem. You know, Microsoft and Sony both have bought way too many studios. And they thought the money from, you know, how things were going back in the pandemic was going to go on forever. When suddenly the pandemic stopped and, well, that's a thing. Oh, yes it was. I mean, and Nintendo does have their stumbles. They do some stupid things from time to time. Like, probably the best example is, I don't know if you know that the Switch 2's hardware is about 7 years old. At least. Like, it is ancient in the hardware market. Nintendo can make it work, but they actually had, like, the hardware to make the Switch 2 about 2 to 3 years before they launched the Switch 2. They had all the CPUs from NVIDIA years before they launched it. They had all the hardware they needed. CPU-wise. Like, they were trying to sell all the original Switch hardware they had in a warehouse, which is a monetary decision. Makes sense. Otherwise, you're just going to have e-waste just sitting there, which is not good to have e-waste, but they were offered better and newer versions of the CPUs from NVIDIA, being like, hey, here's something 3 years newer. It'll run significantly better. And Nintendo said no. Like, it's more power efficient, it's better in every way, and Nintendo said no. Okay. But Nintendo knows how to make use of their hardware. They've learned that because they've had consoles that have failed. Like, technically the GameCube wasn't a failure, technically the Wii U wasn't a failure, but they were sandwiched on both of those consoles were sandwiched by major successes on either side. And the Switch 2 has been selling apparently very well. So, I can't say that. I can't say anything else. So Triace is still around, but not in great condition, all things considered, which is a sad thing. So, all I guess I can say is that we had a mixed bag this week, which is highly unfortunate. Yes, the Virtual Boy. The thing that really got me... Well, I do need to pick up a Switch 2 before they go up next month in price. Because they announced back in, early in the year that they were going to have to increase the price by like $50 in September. Yeah, a lot of people like their Switch 2. Like, for all its faults, the Switch 2 works. It's, in docked mode, as powerful on paper as an Xbox Series S, but with more RAM, which is the big thing. Oh yeah. And as much as people hated on Mario Kart World, that the changes they made in that particular thing always kind of fascinated me. I was like, when I get myself a Switch 2, that's definitely one of those I definitely need to check out. But the thing that Nintendo's done lately that definitely has me like, okay, I'm going to have to buy the expansion pass for Switch Online, because Donkey Kong 64 has finally been released on it, and it's like, fine, I'll do that, because I loved that game. I loved that game growing up, and I'll play more of it. Like, I know I will. Like, I know I will. Like, give me a Donkey Kong 64, I'll play it. But, out of the mixed bag of games we had today, which is an unfortunate situation, that's why we're gonna have to call it for today. We tried, and that's the entire point. It gives me a chance to try out the games in my life. That's why we do these tests. It gives me a chance to try the games in my library, of which I have. Let's see. The overall games list has 1,900 games on it, so it gives me a chance to try games that I own and see if they work. If they don't, it's unfortunate. I'll have to come back to it at some other time, my own time. And that's just how it is. But having said all that, that's where we're gonna have to call it. Oh, it was a good multiplayer function, multiplayer game. It really was, especially with all the secrets and warps. Those were good. But with all that having been said, that's what we're going to have to call it for today. Slightly early, but that's because we had two games just literally refuse to function properly. Happens. Like, we've been on a tear of games that have just worked either directly out of the box or with minor tweaking. So, we were bound to encounter some more sooner or later. But, next stream will be Neo 2 on Wednesday. And I believe it's Moonlight Peaks is, I think, the demo for Friday. Let me check. Yeah, I've got Moonlight Peaks listed. So, that'll be a good one. Probably. That's a life sim, like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon. But obviously, something's going on. It's called Moonlight Peaks. You wouldn't call something Moonlight without having it be a little spookier. But, we'll see you next time. Till then.